Okay, in this video we're going to make a new epic. We're going to learn how to create a new Garrison transition epic from scratch. And we're also going to learn how to duplicate the stories from an existing transition epic to our new one we created, and in a quick and easy way to do that. Okay, so first of all we're going to be in Pivot Tracker. Make sure we're in the CWS 2.0 project, and then we're going to have epics turned on. If I toggle it here, that's off, and now we get the epics column. Perfect. And I'm going to look for any of these epics that have transition written inside. So basically I'm just going to use one of these and duplicate all the stories it has. So first I'm going to create the new epic by clicking the plus up here. And I have a few to create, so I'm just going to go ahead and create Thule Army Depot. And I'm just going to add the word transition so I know what this epic's about. Just going to save that really quick. And then I'm going to open Aniston, for example. Now I'm going to click on Add View Stories. That way it will open a new column with all the stories for Aniston. And since I want to copy all of them, I'm going to unhide these done stories. Alright, so let's use another one, not to worry. You can use Detroit, for example. And okay, so I expanded all the hidden stories. I'm going to close Aniston. And I'm also going to open the new one, Thule. So, alright, so it's empty over here. Scroll a little bit to the right. And okay, so now I have all these stories here. And I'm going to select all of them by filling up these little squares. Looks like we have, okay, that's fine. Looks like we have a repeat story, so I'm not going to select that one. So once all of those are selected, I'm going to click duplicate up here. There's this little icon. And bam, we have all of these created now. You have to wait till the little spinning wheels finished creating them, just to make sure. And now the next thing I'm going to do is select all of these duplicated ones. I know they're the duplicated ones because I haven't even started them. They have these points that are still unassigned, and they're also in blue, which means that they're in the icebox. So I'm going to select all of them, and then I'm simply going to drag them wherever this move cursor appears. I'm just going to drag them into the icebox of Thule Army Depot transition. Great. That takes a little bit. Just going to think for a second. Cool. Now the last thing I have to do is to scroll to the right, remove the Detroit, which is the Garrison we copied from. We have to remove all those labels. That's not going to remove the ones from Detroit because it already has another duplicate set of stories. So I'm just going to go through and remove all of those. Okay, so once we're done removing all the labels from the duplicated epic, in this case we removed Detroit from Thule Army depot, we're going to make sure we have 12 stories on each of the columns. That's the total number for stories inside each of our transition epics. So that would be the right order as well. Just make sure you have them all in this order. Create accounts, introduction with the team, then to create facilities, and so on. By default, they'll be inside the icebox, and whatever's about to be started or is in line to be worked on is going to be in backlog, yet it hasn't been started. So for all of these, we're going to give a calculation of points of difficulty. So create accounts is a fairly simple one, so it's going to be like a 2. The introduction is a simple one, so 1. Meet the team, maybe a 2 because it's a bit longer. Learn to create facilities, it would be probably like a 2, and so on. The harder ones are going to be like 5 and 8s, like creating your community facilities. The revision maybe a 2. Create your community's unique facilities, maybe a 3 or a 5. The events training like a 3. Let's put it on. The events for the next 2 months probably be like 5 or an 8, depending on how many they have. And these last ones are 1 and 2. So, I mean, you can give it points as you deem necessary. It's not that important. It's just a little way of tracking the difficulty of each story. Okay, so now you have the 12 stories created. I duplicated them from Detroit to Thule, and we want to start a few of these. So to do that, I simply dragged the icebox story into the backlog. So I have create accounts, introduction, and meet the team, which are the first things I want to start. So I'm just going to start them like so, and now they're yellow. So that means they're active. And I can pull up some next ones into the backlog already. So learn to create facilities, I'm going to put it in there. Now the next thing to learn is that whoever created the story is going to be the requester and the owner. But we want to change that. In this case, I want to have Colleen be my person in charge of looking at all of these tasks getting done. So I'm going to go ahead and change all of these to Colleen. But since I'm the requester, I'm still going to get all the notifications because I created that. So this also means Colleen's also is going to get all the notes and whatever's been added into the comment boxes. The other thing to know about the epic in itself is that in our column epics we're going to have a comment box, and this is where we want whoever's going to be working on the epic to be updating us on the main status of the transition for that garrison. So please add all your comments on that one, and if it's more specific to the story or to the particular task, then please do add it inside the particular story. So for example, creating your standard facilities, well, if we have any problem, we're going to put it down here. Okay, that's more or less it for creating garrisons and duplicating the stories. I mean, creating epics for the garrisons. Okay?